All right, let's just jump right into this explainer. You know those giant locked cages of propane tanks sitting outside the grocery store? If you've ever found yourself staring at them, kind of confused or maybe even a little intimidated by the whole process, well, you're in the right place. Today, we're going to completely demystify exactly how to get your tank exchanged.
I mean, we've literally all been there, right? That sudden, sinking panic of realizing your tank is completely empty right before a huge cookout? Or maybe it's that quiet anxiety of loading a highly pressurized gas cylinder into the back of your family car. It can feel like a really intimidating chore if you don't know the exact safety protocols or how the retail swap actually works. But hey, today I am promising you a foolproof, step-by-step solution. We are going to make handling your next AmeriGas propane exchange completely 100% stress-free. Seriously, by the time we finish up here, you're going to know exactly how to manage your tank like an absolute pro.
So here's our roadmap for the explainer. We'll quickly hit the basics of propane and AmeriGas, talk about why you'd even choose a tank exchange in the first place, and then walk through a literal step-by-step guide. After that, we'll dive into some essential tips and tricks, go over some massive mistakes you absolutely must avoid, and finally, wrap up with a quick summary and some support resources.
Okay, let's kick things off with Section 1, Propane and AmeriGas Basics.
So, propane, or LPG, liquefied petroleum gas, is this highly efficient, really eco-friendly natural gas. We use it for everything, from outdoor grilling to heating our homes. And finding an AmeriGas retailer to power up those appliances, it's honestly incredibly easy. They boast over 54,000 locations nationwide. To put that into perspective, they're practically everywhere, right at your local hardware stores, gas stations, you name it.
Which brings us right into Section 2. Why choose a tank exchange over a refill?
This really is the classic debate, and it comes down to a simple trade-off. An exchange is all about maximum convenience and top-tier safety. A refill, that's strictly about maximizing your cost efficiency. See, with an exchange, you literally just swap it and go. You get a perfectly cleaned, leak-tested, and maintained cylinder. Now, yeah, you do forfeit whatever tiny bit of gas was left in your old tank, and it might cost a bit more per gallon, but a refill, while you only pay for what goes in, which saves some cash, you have to track down a specially certified employee to manually weigh and pump the gas. And let me tell you, on a busy 4th of July weekend, you could be waiting around a long time for that.
But here is the real game changer. Tanks actually expire. I know, a lot of people don't realize that. But when you use an exchange program, AmeriGas handles the mandatory recertification for you automatically. Their technicians are visually inspecting the outer shell for rust, checking the collar and foot ring, and rigorously testing those valves. It just completely takes the mental load off you. You never have to worry if that rusty tank sitting in your backyard is actually legally safe or out of date.
All right, let's get into the practical stuff. Section 3, our step-by-step exchange guide.
If you're doing a standard manual exchange, it goes like this. First, use the online location finder on your phone to find the nearest spot. Drive there, park, and this is key. Leave your empty tank outside by the cages. Then, just head inside, pay the cashier, and a trained employee comes out to physically swap your old tank for a fresh one. It is really that straightforward.
I actually love this little phrase from AmeriGas, drop, swap, and go. It just perfectly hits the nail on the head regarding how effortless this retail process is designed to be. You drop it off, swap it out, and go home to fire up the grill.
Now let's pause here because this is an absolutely critical piece of safety logic. Never, ever bring a propane tank inside a retail building. Bringing it indoors creates a major localized ignition hazard. Think about it. If a valve were to somehow leak inside an enclosed store, that vapor could accumulate super rapidly. The whole exchange system is literally designed to keep gas handling completely separate from where people are shopping. So, always leave your empty cylinders safely outside by the display cages. Now, what if you're using one of AmeriGas's 24/7 automated self-serve kiosks? These are awesome, especially if you need gas after hours. The process is slightly different but still completely hands-off. You just pay right at the terminal, place your empty tank upright into the locker door that pops open, and then boom, you just retrieve your brand new full tank from the next door that unlocks.
Oh, and building on that self-serve experience, here's a kind of funny but super helpful pro tip. Retail workers have mentioned online that customers sometimes totally panic when the machine's internal carousel takes a hot second to spin. They think the machine just ate their tank. Seriously, don't panic. Just be patient, give it a few seconds to process, and that door to your fresh tank will absolutely pop open.
Moving on, let's hit Section 4, Essential Tips and Tricks to make you a total propane pro.
Okay, so if you're at home, you hook up your new tank, and you suspect even a tiny leak, you gotta try the soapy water test. Just apply some thick, soapy water directly to the valve connection and slowly open the cylinder valve. Watch closely. If gas is escaping, it's literally going to blow physical soap bubbles right in front of you. It's an instant visual warning. If you see bubbles, close the valve immediately and try to tighten the connection. If the bubbling doesn't stop, shut it off completely and call AmeriGas or 911 right away.
Now, what if you want to skip the store entirely? Well, AmeriGas actually has a delivery service called Cinch. It's basically magic for your barbecue. They deliver a fresh, recertified tank directly to your doorstep. And the best part? It doesn't even matter what brand your old tank is. Their drivers will just swing by, take the empty, used, or expired tank off your porch, and leave a fresh one in its place. Super convenient for both residential and commercial setups.
Okay, we are entering the most critical part of this explainer. Section 5. Mistakes you absolutely must avoid.
Please pay close attention to this one. By adopting some basic pro habits, you completely neutralize the very real risks of pressure buildup while driving. Listen closely. You must never, ever transport a propane tank on its side. Keep it strictly upright. If a tank is sideways, the liquid propane sits directly against the pressure relief valve. If that tank gets too hot and needs to vent, it will spray highly concentrated liquid instead of gas, which is insanely dangerous. So, keep it upright, secure it tightly. A standard high-sided milk crate works perfectly in your trunk to stop it from rolling. Never leave it in a hot, unventilated car. Keep your windows cracked for fresh air, and always drive straight to your destination to unpack it.
And another huge no-no, please remember, never toss an old propane tank into your regular municipal trash or recycling. I cannot stress this enough. If you do that and the garbage truck's compactor crushes it, it can cause a massive explosion right out on the street. Always, always exchange them or drop them off at a proper hazardous waste facility.
All right, let's wrap this all up in Section 6 with our summary and support resources so you can get out there and start grilling.
So let's lock in those core takeaways. Use the online location finder to figure out your closest spot. Remember the golden rule for retail visits. Drop, swap, and go. When you're driving, transport that tank upright, tightly secured. Again, use that milk crate trick, and keep the car well ventilated. At home, rely on the soapy water test for total peace of mind. And if you ever have an issue, just reach out to AmeriGas support. Following these steps guarantees a cost-effective, perfectly safe, and just incredibly easy swap every single time.
So are you ready to take control of your next barbecue with total confidence? Now that you've got all the insider knowledge to handle propane safely and efficiently, what is stopping you from firing up that grill this weekend? You're completely equipped to navigate the kiosks, breeze through the retail counters, and safely make the drive home. Just one quick note before you go. Please keep in mind that specific exchange policies, availability, and pricing can vary depending on where you live, so always make sure to verify the latest details directly with your local AmeriGas provider. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and seriously, happy grilling.